Hey, once again, we're back in ProPresenter 5, and once again, we've just imported our playlist from Planning Center. And as I'm scrolling through, I see that most of the items have found their match in my library, indicated by these orange and blue icons. But I see one item here that has a blank white icon next to it. And this tells me that that is supposed to have slides attached to it, but they can't be found in my library, which means I need to add that song to the library. And as I mentioned before, we get all our songs from Song Select. At least 99% of them are available on Song Select. And you can go in here and just type in the name of this song and search. Usually it's the first one or one of the first ones that comes up. If you're not sure, if you're not familiar with this song and you're not sure just by reading the lyrics if this is the right song or not, definitely go to Planning Center. Oops. Here's our plan. And let's command click on those blue notes. And we'll pull up the lyrics. And we can read through the lyrics here, and we can compare them. And yes, in fact, this is the same song. This is the one I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and import it by clicking Import. These settings should already be the way that you want. It should be set to paragraph break. The size should be 1920 by 1080. The category should be song. And the template should be your standard template already. If it's not, you can click it and choose your template here. Destination should be library. So all this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and click Import again. And that was added to my library. Now I can close Song Select. And it called it Christ is Risen 1 because I actually already had a song in here called Christ is Risen that I just deleted before I started this video. I'm going to just manually rename it. Oh, it's angry at me. Oh, maybe I didn't delete it. Okay, alright. Quick I'm just gonna get rid of that. Let's see if it lets me rename it now. There we go. All right. Now I have my song, and each section is labeled the way that I want. Verse 1, chorus, verse 2. The only quirky thing that Song Select does is it doesn't like bridges for some reason. It doesn't like bridges or refrains or a couple other song section types. It will name them at the top here in parentheses, but it won't name the slide for you automatically. We're going to fix that by taking this into the editor. Actually, before we do that, we're going to rename it by right-clicking, going to Group Label, and again, you probably already have one that says Bridge. I don't, so I'm going to add it. And now that's labeled Bridge. And now I'm going to go into the editor. And I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to delete this line at the top. I don't need it. And then I'm going to go through all of the slides and try and break them up a little bit because it looks like there's an awful lot of text on each one. Let's start with this chorus here. And let's split this up. So I'm going to place the cursor where I want the split to be and use the key command Alt-Enter. And now we have 2 slides for the chorus, each one having 4 lines. And that looks much better. And I'm going to do that for the bridge as well. Now you try and split it up in a a place that makes sense musically, that follows the rhyme scheme. If you can't tell just by reading the song, sometimes you have to wait for the band to play it to hear what it does rhythmically, and most of the time you'll get a sense of what's the right spot to split it up at. I happen to know this song, and I think that right here is probably a good spot, and I'm going to do Alt, Enter, and now I have my songs split up. Next, I'll close the editor. Now that everything is laid out the way that I want, and it's labeled the way that I want, the very last thing is I'm going to add 2 slides by clicking the plus sign at the bottom. One slide, I'll drag to the beginning. When I drag, notice if I hover over another slide, you see this arrow appear to the left of the slide or to the right of the slide. Don't drop that slide there, because it will become part of verse 1. That's what those arrows are telling you. Similarly, if I hover over chorus, if I was to drop this here, it would become part of the chorus. That's not what we want to do. We want to drag it all the way to the beginning, and eventually you'll see a blue line appear before the first slide. That's where you want to drop this. Now I can right click, go to Group Label, and I want this to be the intro, and this one at the end. I always want to have a blank slide. It's handy to use at the ends of songs. It's also handy if you have an interlude or a guitar solo, you can just pop in your blank slide. So I always like to have a blank slide. I don't have a label for that. You will on your computer. I'm just going to add one. And now I have my blank slide. Yours will also be color coded. Your blank slides will be black. Your intro slides will be, I think they're gray. Your bridge slides will be purple. Again, this is my personal computer, so I don't have all these things customized quite as to the extent that we do at the campuses. But anyways, now I've created this new song, and now I just want to get it into my plan. There's 2 ways that I can do that. I can manually link it like we've seen before. So I could click link, and I could just drag the item out of the library and drop it onto there. Another way that I could do it is I can right click on the plan, the title of the plan, and I can select Find Library Matches. Now that the song is in the library, when I select Find Library Matches, it's going to find it. And you see that that icon turned from plain white into orange and blue. So that's it. That's how to create a new song and edit it and add your intro and blank slide. Now this song is ready to be used in worship service.